shear in beams. So in this section of our lecture, we will deal with another type of stress felt by our beam. So we are done with the bending stress, which create moments wherein we solve the bending reinforcement of a beam. Okay, we have the horizontal uh, main reinforcement of the beam. Now, there are a lot of stresses that we need to deal in a structure. We have basically we have moment, we have axial, right? We have compression, tension, the combination of two, the bending, compression and tension. We have here the shear, you know. So each stress has different may cause different failures to our structure. Like for bending, once you overbend the beam, let's say beam, when we overbend our beam, it causes cracking, right? Because of the tension, or even cracking because of the crushing of concrete over compression. Let's say if we have pure compression like columns, if we compress beams, let's say our structure, a column, so it will also crash because of the compression. And we have for shear, the shear is parang mag-shear off siya. Okay, we will deal with that here. But another example of stress is torsion. Okay, so yung matitwist yung beam natin. Okay, so it needs also different type of a specific type of reinforcement. Kung ganun. So maraming type ng stresses, different type ng reinforcement rin na counteract on the stress felt by our structure. So, that's the purpose of yung subject natin na CV 151, 152. So, and even in, I don't know if it is still ES 64, but I think ENS 64. So, um, where we learn yung mga basic stresses, and then we learn how to draw the shear and moment diagram. Okay. So, yun na nga, we are in design, so we just apply kung ano yung nakukuha natin sa theoretical analysis. Kaya mas mahirap yung theoretical analysis in determining the stresses compared to design. In design, we are just guided by our uh, some specific rules on in designing and some constraints in designing. But yung pure analysis andun talaga sa structural analysis or theoretical uh, analysis natin. Okay? So here in this illustration, we say if a beam is loaded, if you look at here, if the beam is loaded, let's say some omega, let's say for simplicity, let's say omega, it will develop a shear diagram with here, this is our shear diagram. So ganyan yung shear diagram ng uniformly distributed load on a beam. And then it will create a moment diagram wherein ito yung maximum moment natin, wherein na-design natin yung reinforcement na sorry, maximum moment based on the maximum moment. Now, I want to step back for a while about moment. So we know that ang moment natin is ang mag-cause niya na stress on the beam is bending stress. Kasi nga mabibend siya. If you look on this illustration here, so mabibend yung um, beam natin. So let's say for in this example, in this illustration, we have a compression sa top and then the tension at the bottom. So it may cause cracking, like here. The beam or beam may crack here. So we put our reinforcement, in this case, dito sa baba, to support the cracking of the beam. Okay. Now, sa shear naman, as I said, different stress, different type of reinforcement. Okay. So sa shear, basically, parang ang idea ng shear is parang mas-slice siya ba? Okay, yun yung concept ng shear. So kung totally fails ang beam natin or ang structure, if it totally fails because of shear, we call it shear off. Parang mag-slide yung dalawang mahati. So if you see in the illustration here, kung dito, so nasi-shear off yung beam natin. Well, practically hindi naman talaga ganyan yung itsura, but theoretically ganyan yung idea ng shear. So yan yung possible failure ng shear. So that's why iba siya sa bending. So we cannot say um, na yung reinforcement natin sa bending enough na rin siya sa shear. Okay? So magkaiba yun na ibang iba naman yung reinforcement ng shear. Okay? So but parang in reality naman talaga makaka-help na rin naman. Biruin mo yung kung mag-slide siya, kung mag-shear off siya, kung mayroong reinforcement, of course maka-help yung reinforcement. But hindi na natin kinikwenta yung ma-help ng main reinforcement natin sa moment to help as a reinforcement sa shear. Okay? So, i magawa tayo ng sariling analysis for shear alone. Okay? So, looking at this, if we have our beam, itong naka-green, so ito yung bending reinforcement, right? Kasi nga, ano siya, mag-bend siya. So, ang reinforcement niya, it's either sa baba lang kung singly reinforced, and then meron na rin sa top kung doubly reinforced. Now, ang failure ng shear, according sa research, ang failure ng shear, hindi naman talaga na ano, let's say, ito yung, ganyan, ganyan yung ano, let's say we have a column, yan, um, yan, mag-failure ng shear. Okay? So, practically, hindi naman talaga na mag-share off yun siya na ano, na mas slice talaga siya. Okay? Unless kung very sudden siguro masyado na ano. But, uh, according to research, they tried to, in the laboratory, they create a beam and then they put a load hanggang sa mag-fail yung beam. And they found out na ang cracking ng beam, of course, ang cracking ng moment is parang ganito talaga siya. You can see here, ganito yung cracking ng moment. Now, they found out na ang cracking ng beam, and even in practice, may makita ka ng mga beam na nag-fail, ang cracking pattern niya is parang ganito. Yan. Ganyan yung mga crackings niya. So, parang nakaslant siya. So, ang possible failure ng beam, makita niyo yan, may mga beams na shear, for example, sa mga bridges, yung overloaded talaga na mga bridges, magka-crack yun siya. Ganyan yung cracking niya. So, kung makita ka ng beams na ganyan, yung cracking niya is caused by shear. Okay? Pag cracking naman sa gitna, or kung dito sa support, let's say dito sa support yan, ang cause niyan is ang bending. Now, dito tayo sa shear. Now, since ganyan yung cracking pattern niya, mas maganda na yung support natin, it should be perpendicular sa crack, right? Mas efficient siya, di ba? Just like if you see here sa shear, ay sorry, sa bending natin, ito yung cracking, ganyan. Kasi draw ako ulit ito. Sa bending, dito yung cracking, right? So, let me zoom. Ayan yung cracking. That's why yung reinforcement natin perpendicular sa cracking. Ayan. So, ma-prevent niya talaga yung possible cracking. So, also here, sa, let's go back to shear. Ang possible cracking niya is nakaganyan, nakaslant siya. So, mas maganda sana na yung reinforcement natin is perpendicular. Parang ganyan. Right? That is the most efficient. Practically, that is I mean, theoretically, that is the most efficient na pattern ng reinforcement. Kasi nga perpendicular siya masyado. Right? So, but if we will have a reinforcement na nakaganyan, naka go along the crack, yung reinforcement, hindi siya nakakatulong, right, sa cracking. So, that's theoretically na mas maganda naka-slant yung ano. This one is theoretical, parang ganyan. Mas maganda kung nakaganyan yung reinforcement. But, sorry. But practically, mahirap gawin yan sa site and it becomes more complicated sa site. Mahirap i-arrange sa site. And then, theoretically rin, medyo mahirap siya i-analyze kung nakaslant pa yung reinforcement natin at a certain angle. So, meron pa tayong mga other variables na ma-add. So, considering the difficulty in analysis and also the difficulty of arrangement of reinforcement, we just consider a vertical stirrups. Parang ganyan. See here. Yan. Mm, yan. Okay. So, remember, our reinforcement, magbabase yan siya, ang quantity ng reinforcement, magbabase siya sa quantity ng stress. Okay? So, if you see in the stress diagram, let's go back to the stress diagram. Saan yung maraming, let's look at first about the moment. Sa moment, kung makita niyo sa moment, sa gitna yung moment for simply supported and then what's this? Uniformly distributed ang moment. So sa gitna, that's why yung main reinforcement ng beam natin mostly nasa gitna. Okay? And then sa shear naman, kung tingnan niyo yung shear diagram, saan malaki yung shear? Dito sa support, malapit sa support, right? It could be this one is positive shear or negative shear. The same lang yung effect. Pero sa beam, magkaiba. I mean, sa moment, magkaiba. Kung positive moment, negative moment, magkaiba. This one, in this illustration, positive moment, ang reinforcement niya nasa baba. Pag negative moment, ang reinforcement nasa taas. Okay? So, sa shear, if you see here, ang reinforcement ng shear natin, ito yung spacing ng reinforcement. Okay? This reinforcement, we call it stirrups. Ang stirrups, these are shear reinforcement. Yan. So, a shear reinforcement, we call it stirrups. These are stirrup. Yung stirrups, naka-space yun siya. Now, the higher the shear, the higher the stress, the closer the reinforcement. Tingnan mo kung maraming reinforcement, mas malapit yung reinforcement, mas malakas yung uh, reinforcement ng steel natin. So if you see here in the illustration, ang reinforcement sa support side, yung malapit sa support, medyo malapit. Hanggang papunta sa gitna, malayo na siya. Kasi nga, sa gitna, wala na masyadong shear. Right? So, wala na kayo masyadong reinforcement sa gitna. Sometimes, minimum na lang na requirements ng shear reinforcement sa gitna. And then, balik naman to the right. Papunta naman sa right. Pala, balik naman sa mga malalapit na ang spacing ng reinforcement natin. Kasi nga, lumalaki naman yung shear dito sa right. Okay? So, there must be a calculation an engineering approach on what is the required spacing ng reinforcement. Okay? So, ganun sa project, ang foreman sometimes mag-a-assign yun na, Sir, engineer, ano yung ano yung spacing ng 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 stirrups? Okay? So, sometimes kung kapoy na sabihin mo, basta ano na, uniform na yan lahat. Ah, so, i-design mo lang yung sa pinakagilid and then i-uniform mo na. So, what will happen is, kung tingnan niyo yung shear diagram dito, ang shear diagram natin is from sa support, malaki sa support, right? Hanggang pababa na siya dito, papunta sa gitna. So that means malapit yung spacing sa support hanggang palayo ng palayo as we approach the middle of the beam. So, if we just design one spacing, let's say 100 mm, and then you apply it all throughout the beam, and that is not economical, right? Although you are very safe, but our design is not economical. Okay, so that's not a good practice. So the good practice is um, it should be the spacing should also change as we approach the middle of the beam. Okay? So most of the time, ganyan, depende rin yan siya sa shear ng beam. Shear, um, kung mga distributed load lang, like omega, ganun, uniformly distributed load, ganito yung shear diagram. Pero may mga cases rin na, let's say, let me, may mga cases na ganito. What if our beam is loaded by a distributed load? Yung P. Okay? So, kung ganyan, kung P, ano yung shear diagram niya? Let's say, yung ganyan, ang shear diagram, parang ganyan ang shear diagram. Right? So, in that way, ang shear niya, constant yung magnitude ng shear natin. So, in that way, we can say na kung constant yung magnitude ng shear, and then we can justify na constant rin yung spacing. Pag makasolve tayo ng 80 mm na spacing, i-apply na natin all throughout the beam. Kasi nga, yung shear niya, constant. So, ngayon, case-to-case basis rin yan siya. Mangyari yan siya, may mga instances na um, we call it planted column. Ano yung planted column? Ang planted column, ito yung beam, tapos, let's say, beam siya, tapos may column siya sa gitna or somewhere sa beam. Okay? Yung column nakaplant sa beam. So, yun yung mga mahirap na mga situation. Um, kung hindi magkasundo yung architect at saka civil engineer or structural engineer, um, minsan ini-insist talaga ng architect na, for dito talaga yung beam, ay yung column, tapos hindi magka-straight dun sa foundation yung column. Ah, Ayan, iurong talaga yung column kasi nga makakuha siya ng space, let's say for a room, yun, or may matamaan niya yung stairs, ganun. So the architect insists na iurong yung column. So, as an engineer, mahirap yan kasi nga in sheer or what's this, the theoretical analysis of this one, structural analysis, I mean, is difficult to analyze kung may mga ganyan. And not also difficult, but very stressful yan siya sa beam. This beam, yan, very stressful yan siya when there is a column in it. So that's a challenge for you as a structural engineer, how you gonna approach it. Kasi nga, hindi yung column nakapatong lang sa beam. What if may earthquake? So, shake niya ma-easily shake niya, ah, kasi nakapatong lang siya sa beam. Yung beam hindi constant eh, nag-shake rin yung beam. So, mas maganda talaga yung column diretso talaga to foundation. So, yan, mas stronger siya. But this will be a challenge. So, yan yung mga cases na yung shear reinforcement natin, isang ano lang, diretso na. Okay? Kasi nga constant yung possible shear diagram niya. Right? So, let's proceed. Again, that is ang reinforcement, we call it stirrups for shear reinforcement. Now, let's go to the analysis or the designing of shear reinforcement. So, ganun pa rin, sa shear diagram, we have our VU, yung MU is equal to VMN, right? Dito rin sa shear, mayroon tayong ultimate load VU. This is equal to uh, nominal shear capacity ng beam natin. Now, wherein the nominal strength capacity Vn, ito yung Mn, okay? The same with Mn, I mean. So, Vc plus Vs. What is Vc? Vc is the shear capacity of concrete. Ang concrete also, mayroon siyang shear capacity. Right? And then, kung hindi na kaya ng concrete, unlike with the moment diagram, I mean, the moment reinforcement, ang concrete natin, weak na talaga siya sa tension. That's why hindi natin kina-consider sa shear or sa bending diagram yung tension part, yung compression lang ng concrete. Pero ang concrete is strong in shear. Kaya we need to consider the strength capacity the shear capacity, I mean, ng concrete. So, VC is the shear capacity of concrete and VS is the shear capacity of steel. Ito yun na yung reinforcement natin na stirrup. So, dalawa ngayon ang kuma-counteract sa shear load natin na VU. Okay? Which is the VC and VS. Okay? So, when solving for concrete section, actually, this one is not practical anymore. But kung in case na lumabas sa board exam, kasi in practice, what we do is, remember, nag-assume na tayo ng section ng beam. And then from that section, we analyze or design the reinforcement of the bending reinforcement, yung main reinforcement natin. And then after that, i-design na naman natin siya ng shear reinforcement. So basically, we do not change the section of beam anymore, right? Unless kung may mga cases na kailangan talaga siyang i-change. Okay? If we found out na kailangan talaga siyang i-change, then we have to change it. So ang pag-design, if we are designing the section of the beam based on shear, although it's not the main real practice, ang main practice is design muna tayo ng section ng beam based on moment, not on based on shear. But in case lalabas, ito yung idea niya when solving for concrete section using gamitin natin na baseline yung shear. So VU is less than um, or equal to phi VC plus 2/3 square root of FC prime BWT. So wala pang reinforcement dito based only ng shear ng concrete. Okay? Where ang VC is 1/6 gamma. Sorry. This one is lambda, I think. Lambda square root of FC prime. Ito, 1/6 lambda square root of FC prime BWD for non-pre-stress without axial compression. Anong ibig sabihin? Ang mga pre-stress beam, ito yung beam natin, okay? Mayroong mga chords diyan na sa mga bridge, gina-pre-stress yan siya. Meron tayong axial load na P. Okay, we call it pre-stress. Wala na tayong time kung i-discuss ko pa more on that. But after this course, if you pass this course, then um, ma ma-encounter ninyo ang pre-stress analysis ng beam. So, we have axial load P. Okay? So, kung non-pre-stress, yung normal beam lang natin sa structure. While pre-stress, mostly ginagamit ito sa mga design ng bridges. Okay? So, for non-pre-stress, without axial compression, walang P na axial compression. Okay? We can use this formula for BC. Okay, what is BC? Yan yung shear capacity ng concrete natin. And may mga ibang cases dito. Pangalawa, so this is the first one. Second case natin is yung non-pre-stress with axial compression. So we call it NU. Okay, so meron siyang N, normal force or axial force na N. Then ito na yung formula natin. Kung meron naman siyang pangatlo, kung ang beam natin mayroong tension. So bihira lang ito masyado. Ang beam is ginagamit for tension as a tension member. Kasi nga most of the time ang concrete is weak siya sa sa tension. Okay? So kaya kung may mga if I don't know if you have seen yung trusses made out of reinforced concrete. So as we know sa trusses mayroong part na tension, mayroong part na compression yung member. So what will happen kung napunta siya sa tension, yung stress ng concrete na sa trusses natin. So that's the time they introduce yung pre-stress concrete. Okay? So naka-pre-stress siya. So search on that, okay? Hindi ko na lang i-lecture dito about pre-stress. So that is when we are designing this section. But again, in practice, we do not do that. We normally design the section based on the bending and then design the shear based on kung ano yung na-come out natin sa bending. So that means ipapasar muna natin sa bending, saka natin i-design sa shear. Okay? So the shear strength. What is the shear strength provided by steel? VS, ito na yung VS. So sa VC, we can use this one, 1/6. Okay? So ito yung shear strength ng steel. VS is equal to AV, area ng steel, times FYT. Ito yung yield strength ng stirrups, specific for stirrups. Okay? And then D is ito yung D ng beam natin divided by the spacing. Okay? So in the equation alone, you can see na the smaller the S, the bigger the shear capacity, right? Diba? So shear here is inversely proportional to the spacing. Right? So kung malalayo yung spacing natin, hihina rin yung shear, right? Ganyan yung concept ng inversely proportional. So kung malalapit yung spacing, lalaki rin yung shear capacity, Vs. Okay? So this one is AVFYT D over S. Now in shear diagram, ito yung shear diagram. Let's go back here. Ito yung original na shear diagram if you are considering yung buong beam. Okay? But again, parang if you look at this one, parang symmetrical siya with respect sa middle ng beam. Right? Although negative shear lang siya, pero the same value rin siya kasi the same rin siya ng effect. Um, so, let's just consider half of the beam and then kung ano yung ma-design natin sa half, i-apply na rin natin. Naka-mirror siya with respect sa middle ng beam. So if you look on the half side of the beam, so that's why we have here L over 2. Yan, that is L over 2. And then, according sa research, ang critical V, hindi ito yung pinaka-tip ng shear diagram natin. But ang critical shear ng beam is yung makikita at the D distance from the support. Okay? So this is our critical shear VU. Right? So we will start the analysis ng design ng beam. Sorry. Here. Kung ano yung shear na makuha natin at the D distance from the support. Right? Hindi itong dito, not this one. Hindi yan siya, kundi yung shear at the D distance. So basically, but we need this value here, itong pinaka malaki na shear itong shear support, we need this value kasi nga it will form a triangle. And then with respect to the distance from the support, we can solve the value of VU, right? So using the ratio and proportion. So, but we also need this value of V here. Okay, but we'll start our design with the VU at the distance D from the support. So, mayroon lang mga cases. Ito yung mga rules niya. So, if VU, ano ito yung VU? Ito yung load, shear caused by load, is greater than VBC. Ano itong VBC? Ito yung shear capacity ng concrete. Okay? Kung ang actual load natin is greater than the capacity ng concrete, then we need to design these stirrups. Kasi nga, kulang yung capacity ng concrete. Malas malaki yung VU, so we need to add VS. Right? Now, if yung VU natin, okay, is less than VBC, okay, yung actual shear natin is less than the capacity ng concrete. That means mas malakas yung concrete, shear capacity ng concrete, compare sa sa VU. And if VU is greater than one half of the concrete, I mean one half of the shear capacity of concrete, then no need for reinforcement, but we need to provide minimum stirrups. Provide lang tayo ng minimum stirrups. Malalaman natin later ano yung minimum stirrups. Okay. Now, if VU is less than half, okay, less than half of the capacity of concrete, then no need for stirrups. No stirrups required, meaning the sheer capacity of concrete alone is enough to fight against the ultimate load ng beam natin. Okay? So, ganun. So, if less than one half, no need for stirrups. If greater than one half ng shear capacity ng concrete, but less than shear capacity of concrete, provide minimum stirrups. Kung greater than, then um, we need to provide necessary stirrups. So if you see here, if you look on this diagram here, ang view natin pababa, di ba? Hanggang as we approach the middle of the beam. That means there will be an instant na mayroong distance dito, okay? Where the VU, ang VU dito is equal sa PVC, right? Shear ng concrete alone. So, yung spacing ng reinforcement natin dito from VU to VU dito sa rightmost. So, mayroong limitation yan na pagdating dito, kailangan na natin yung reinforcement. No need na yung reinforcement. Hanggang sa 1/2 ng VVC over 2, yung 1/2. So, this part, lagyan lang natin ng minimum. Right? Here, dito na part, no need. Bakit? Ang VU dyan is less than half of VBC. So, no need for reinforcement. For reinforcement dito is, sa gitna is minimum. Yan. Minimum reinforcement. Guess niyo? Okay? So, let's move. So, ito yung calculation ng shear capacity. So, the nominal, kung kailangan ng reinforcement, saka na tayo mag-design ng what is the spacing needed. Okay? So, if, ito may mga maraming if else dito sa shear diagram. So, you really have to be careful and memorize um, you have to memorize this formula. Kasi these formulas, and formula are not yung formula nga na ma-derive. Okay? Parang I forgot the term. Parang empirical formula siya. Yung may square root of FC prime. That is very empirical. Nasosolve lang yun siya based on not on theoretical analysis but based on laboratory experiments. And they found out na based on laboratory experiments, yan yung formula. So in here, you need to memorize this formula and this if else cases. Okay? So, yan. We need to check first if BS is less than or equal to 2/3. Saan ito ma-solve yung BS? Dito yan siya. Okay? Mayroon tayong actual shear ng load minus VC. Ito yung concrete, right? Then we can solve for BS. And then based on the shear capacity required but for the steel, sorry, um, ang VS natin is ito na formula actually, balikan natin. Ito yan siya, right? VS to S. This time we will solve as ibaliktad na lang natin. So this one is, ito yung spacing required ng reinforcement. Area ng reinforcement, FYT D, this time over VS. Right? So if you can see here, the greater the VS, the lesser the spacing. Okay? So ito yung ma-design natin na spacing at this part. Ito yun siya. At that part, yan yung spacing na ma-design natin. Kasi nga, pagdating natin dito na part, this is minimum. And then, at some point, yung malapit na, sorry, malapit na sa gitna, no need na ng reinforcement. Okay, so, but whatever na ma-design natin na reinforcement, na spacing ng reinforcement, para rin tayong maximum spacing. Okay, so yan, marami if else. Let's go back here. Kasi naglagay ako ng if Vs is less than two-third of square root FC prime BWD. What if? What? Merong if else, di ba? So, if Vs is less than two-third, what if greater than two-third? What will happen? If Vs is greater than two-third FC prime BWD, then you need to change the section of the beam. Okay? So, hindi siya enough. We need to change the size, enlarge the size of the beam. Okay? So, kasi nga masyado nang malaki yung VS natin. Okay? So, na kailangan. So, we need, mayroong limitation na rin yung VS natin. So, ganon. Now, dito sa maximum spacing natin, go back to maximum spacing. If VS is less than one-third, FC prime BWD, ang S max natin, meaning hindi tayo pwedeng lalampas dito, it should be D over 2 or 600 mm. Yan, whichever the smaller, yun yung mag-govern. Kasi nga maximum. So kung maximum, yung smaller sa kanila, yun yung mag-govern. If Vs is greater than one-third, okay, S max is D over 4 or 300 mm. Okay? Now, ito yung minimum stirrups required. Medyo, ano siya sa formula. Ito yung sa part na minimum reinforcement. Ano yung minimum? Kung less than, less than VBC but greater than half of VBC. So we need to provide a minimum spacing. Ito yung minimum spacing. Dito makikita. I-provide natin yung area and then makuha natin yung spacing. So area minimum is 0.062 square root of FC prime BWS FYT, but it should be greater than or equal to 0.35 BWS FYT. Okay, so we can get that from, sorry, from our example. So, I'm sorry, my discussion reached already 42 minutes. Um, maybe the example hatiin ko sa dalawa. Kasi meron akong example na yung pang board exam na mga example and then yung pangalawa example is yung mga practical. Okay? So, let's solve one example and then this next two example is to solve natin sa next video. Okay, let's have this example. First, a rectangular beam has a width of 250 mm. By the way, ang reinforcement ng shear, it will look like this one. Draw ko muna dito para ito yung ito yung main reinforcement natin. Okay. Uh, let's say this one is designed as nakaganyan. Ito yung section ng beam, right? Yan yung main reinforcement ng yung circle na black. Yan yung main reinforcement ng moment natin. For shear, ito siya, naka-enclose siya. Ganyan. Ayan, kung makita niyo sa actual, ganyan yung itsura. Ayan. This one, we call it the stirrups. Okay? For this case, ang stirrups is two area of stirrups na ginamit natin. Kasi nga, dalawa itong itong vertical ang i-count natin. So, kung how many vertical, yun yung number ng ano. So, this one and 2. Yung dalawang area. Right? Kaya yung, if you can see here, yung minimum number of reinforcement, we need 4. Dapat minimum 4 reinforcement yan. You can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yan yung minimum number ng reinforcement ng moments. Kasi nga, para may mahawakan yung shear reinforcement natin. Okay? Pangit naman, nag-curve ka ng rectangular dyan, wala siyang mahawakan sa corner. So, we need a minimum of 4. And then, and then we have our stirrups. So, what if kung meron pa tayong additional stirrups dito, let's say meron pa tayong additional reinforcement. Yan. Ng stirrup. So, in that case, parang ano na siya, tatlo na siya. So, area is equal to 3 area of the var. Okay? Ito yung AV natin. Kasi nga tatlo na siya. Okay? So, let's solve this example. A rectangular beam has a width of 250 mm and an effective depth of, so let's write here B is 250 mm and an effective depth D is equal to 500 mm. Determine the maximum factored load. Okay, that means we are solving for, anong solve natin? Maximum factored shear that beam can carry. Hanapin natin yung VU. Given that FC prime is equal to 21 megapascal. So, here's the solution. Ano yung VU? VU is equal to phi Vn. Okay? If I will write here phi Vn, this is equal to phi times capacity ng reinforcement plus capacity ng, sorry, concrete. And what is VC? VC, ano yung VC? VC is equal to 1 over 6 lambda square root of FC prime BWD. Actually, itong B, ito yung BW. Okay? So, what is BC? 1 over 6. Ang lambda, this is 1 for normal concrete. Okay? So, basically, 1 na lang yan. So, square root of 21, FC prime 21, times BW of 250 times 500. Okay? So, this one is equal to 95.470 kilonewton. Okay. Hindi in this problem, hindi binigay kung ano yung um, shear reinforcement. Walang binigay na spacing ng reinforcement. Hindi rin binigay ano yung area ng reinforcement. But ang tinanong is the maximum. Okay? So that means ilagay natin yung maximum na possible reinforcement capacity. Okay? So ano yung pinaka-maximum ng shear? Ano yan? Vs is equal to, maybe we can write maximum value of Vs. Okay? So, ano yun? Vs is 2/3 square root of FC prime. Ito yung FLs kanina. BWD. Yan yung maximum. Bakit? If if Vs required is greater than 2/3, that means yung section ng beam natin is not enough anymore. So, parang yung sa bending, parang meron tayong MU max. Ito yung VS max natin. 2/3. Kasi kung greater than that value, we need to change the dimension of our beam. Okay? So 2/3 is equal to 2/3 square root of 21 BW 250 times 500. This is 381.881 kilonewton. Okay? So, our VU, oh, I forgot. Ang phi pala, ang phi ng shear is 0.75. Okay? So, hindi yan mag-change. Unlike sa moment, ngayon, in the latest in SCP, ang ang fee mag-change siya kung greater than 1,000 sa ah, ang stress ng steel natin point 9, yeah, point 9 kung greater than FY but less than 1,000 yung transition, and then kung less than FY compression, ano siya, 0.65, yun yun. Mag-change yung fee. But here, constant na yung fee natin, which is 0.75. Okay? So, ang VU natin is fee VC plus VS. So, this one is 0.75 times, ano yung VC? 95.470 plus 381.881. Okay? Here, we can compute VU is equal to 358.013 kilonewton. Okay? So, I hope you're following me in my discussion kasi I have a lot of inputs um, in the discussion itself before yung sa mga example natin. So you might miss some, practical and theoretical inputs na gina-add ko sa discussion aside from the example of the book. So if you just go directly to the example of the book, may mga questions. But I wonder bakit walang mga questions from you. Hopefully you are studying and you're following on the examples of book. Again, once you start answering and then you formulate these questions, and once that question is answered, doon na yung magsa-start yung learning. Okay? So, in other words, you still do not learn kung hindi pa um, wala pang na-formulate na question sa mind ninyo. Bakit ganito? Bakit ganon, sir? Ganyan. Unless you are, brilliant na at one discussion you can catch up on my discussion. Okay? So, in the next video, I will add the example para hindi masyadong boring. So, putulin ko muna ito na video. And then next example will be, I will give two more example. So, practical, theoretical and practical example. All right.